Hi! Breaking news! Eventide just reinvented Reverb and it's giving it away for free. Exactly, because the plugin that I'm going to show you in this video, Temperance Light, that's the name, it's completely free and it sounds freaking awesome. I don't think any other brand more than Eventide can be associated not just with effects or innovative effects, but with genre-defining effects. From H3000 to SP2016, Instant Flanger and Phaser, the 910, Omnipressor, and the list goes on and on and on. Eventide effects are everywhere across the history of recorded music, and they keep innovating with amazing tools like Split EQ, which you know I love to death. But this Temperance Light Reverb is no less. And it's free. Let me tell you everything about it. Hello everyone, welcome back to McSolaar TV. Hope you guys are having a great day. Before we start, as usual, check the info box down below for free plugin special discounts and offers, and of course, link to Temperance Light. If you want to book mix and mastering with me, go to the website mixolars.tv.com. In there, you can also find all the mix and mastering courses available. And if you want to access the exclusive library of in-depth mix and mastering videos here on YouTube, click the join button, become a McSolaar TV member, and also get all the perks. And if you want to support the channel, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Let me tell you everything about this thing. Eventide Temperance Light use most of the technology that we can find at the big brother Temperance Pro, and it's based on what they call modal reverb. Similar to the way a complex audio signal can be deconstructed in individual sine waves, the idea behind the modal reverb is to break down a reverberant space into individual resonances or modes of vibration. Eventide calls this the modal response. Each mode of vibration can be recreated with a resonant filter that rings when stimulated, pretty much like a tuning fork that vibrates with a specific frequency and unique characteristics when struck. If enough of these filters are combined, in theory you can recreate any type of reverberation. This is the theory behind Temperance Light, what's happening under the hood. Now I'm going to show you in practice what that means. We have our GUI right here, very simple, few controls. We have a big temper knob which can go positive or negative, and you can see around this green ring here, which you will see is part of the visualization of our reverb, we have the 12 notes of Western music. A mix knob which you can lock so you can scroll through different presets without changing the mix balance. Also, you can lock the notes for the same reason. You can scroll through preset by keeping your note selection. We will see that in a second. A decay knob and a size knob, self-explanatory. Then we have the preset amount right here expressed in milliseconds. Go to 0 to 2 seconds. And wait, because there's a lot more in this simple but feature-packed plugin. We have 3 different modal responses. We have a bright room, a large studio, and a synthetic spaces. These are not your regular algorithm because they are created with the modal responses that I explained at the beginning. So with the temper intensity knob and the note selection, you can create what they call tempered ambience. This allows you to emphasize certain resonances, certain notes, or actually de-emphasize, because you can do the opposite. We're going to see that in a second. And explore very different, absolutely unique type of spaces and reverberation. Below our modal response selection, we have 2 extra controls, and I'm gonna start showing you the visuals for this. First of all, as you can see, our temper knob is also a visualizer that tells us how extreme is the effect and what notes get emphasized or de-emphasized if we go negative. But below here we have our range slider. The first one, controlled with these 2 little green rectangles here, top and bottom, lets you decide what range will be tempered, okay? And we can also grab the middle of it and keep the selection how wide or narrow we want and drag it across. And the second sliders are actually high pass and low pass filters for the reverb. So they found a really efficient way to put these controls here in these 2 sliders. I really love what they did with these. We have a bypass button here and an output slider for the overall output level. Without further ado, let me actually show you how this sounds and how it works. And it goes without saying that with the temper knob at 0, so at 12 o'clock, there's no temper, okay? I was excited already when I heard this simple example. You hear immediately what tempered ambience means in this case. Let's play a little more with it, and I'm gonna exaggerate the mix knob so you can hear in action. That is pretty cool, right? So next I want to show you the ranges because this is very important. So we said that the green little triangle here, this is the temper selection. So what part of the frequency you want to be affected by the temper controls and the note selection. So let's go almost all the way wet for this. Super simple, but I'm still gonna show you that we have the filters here. Which, by the way, you can hear when the temper is high, you have this really nice musical resonance. So if you automate these, you can create very cool effects, especially on synths, especially some effects on vocals. And just so you have the same reference, this is the bright room. I'm just gonna go back to more conservative settings so you can hear the differences between the modal responses. This was the bright room. They're all very self-explanatory. Bright room, a large studio, emulates real spaces, while synthetic space is this ethereal type of space, which actually goes very well with this piano. If we go a little smaller, let's change source. Let's do a guitar, for example. I want to show you something. I want to show you what happens when I select individual notes, because that's a way with the light that you can really focus on what you want to enhance. Or, like I said, you can go negative if there's something in the reverb that you want to take out of the equation because it clashes maybe with the rest of the music or with the instrument itself. You can also do that. So. Like, for example, if you don't want this note to be in the reverb, you can go negative. And regardless, the fact that you can emphasize and make a certain note rings more than others, just the reverb itself, like large studio on a guitar like this, sounds pretty freaking amazing. There's something about Eventide effects that is just instant record for me. I don't know, I've been using it for so long, so I might be biased, but I really love them. A few more examples. I prepared actually a few more to really show you how powerful is this little freaking free plugin. I remind you, it's free. Okay, for example, if there's the low note is too much for you, which is the A note, you can take it out. I really, really love, because of course I'm exaggerating settings, I'm exaggerating a lot the mix knob to make it obvious for the video, but if you use it correctly, so in a more subtle way, those overtones that ring out in the reverb, I sometimes on some material, because I've been using this for a while, I like to emphasize and make one note ring, just select one note and make it ring and make it really, really subtle. I usually use this in sand, so mix all the way, and I just make it ring, and I just throw maybe a vocal to it at the end of a phrase and at the end of a word, and there's this one note that is emphasized and it rings out, and it's a really cool effect. I will probably show you by the end of the video. On synths, it's pretty crazy as well. Very, very cool. Like the reverb itself, even without me exaggerating the note enhancement to make the certain resonances bloom, it just sounds really, really cool. Okay, notice something that it might feel counterintuitive. So you hear that if I limit the bandwidth of the temper, right, limit the range of the temper, and I cut the top end off, you hear more reverb in that area, right? The reason is because what I'm doing basically is removing the temper action from that range. So if we open the bandwidth, what happens in that region, if I do this, right? So if I cut the top end mid-range, what effectively happens is this. It would be like I take the temper out, which results in more reverb because it's full range at that point, right? So basically we go from this to that, okay? If I do the opposite, it makes sense why we hear more reverb in the region, because especially if you have the temper pretty high, now you affect that top area, and so you almost only hear the three notes ringing and being emphasized as opposed as this. And it's so cool. I love this thing so much, and it's super simple to use. I got an acoustic guitar, and then I'll do a last example with vocals. This is the acoustic guitar. It's really fun, and it really makes me think of reverb as almost a different effects. Like I grab this when I want to emphasize and make some notes bloom as opposed to my bread and butter reverb, right? Let's try a stack of vocals. Last example.
Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but you're my one and only. Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but you're my one and only. Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but
right? It's fine-tuning these resonances is super fun, and like I said, this is just an example, but if you set up in a song a note, one or two notes, and then you just throw one word at it, you can get really cool effects. This is Temper and Slide by Eventide, and it's freaking free. So check the link down below. Grab it right now. If you like the video, please don't forget to leave a like. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have questions. Go to the website mixplustv.com if you want to book mix and mastering with me. Also to get all the mix and mastering courses. And if you want to become a MixPlusTV member and access the exclusive content, in-depth mix and mastering video, click the join button right here. And if you want to support the channel, consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.